Hey guys, Roscoe here. Just doing a quick movie review for the new Evil Dead movie that just came out, Evil Dead Rise. Just want to give off a quick opinion about this movie. I would normally do a long review, and yeah, I'm out here at the park, you know, just thought I'd be out here to see something nice, because this movie was, oh boy, this was one of those types of movies. First of all, I just want to give my opinion on all the Evil Dead movies. I love the first film. I think it's a really bleak but low budget horror masterpiece that I think a lot of people tend to say is just a really good example of how you can have a small budget and have so much creativity, from the great camera work of Sam Raimi to the great performance of Bruce Campbell to the really scary performances of all the Deadites. Then the sequel was even better than the first one. I love that it had a bigger budget and that it kind of went more into the dark comedy that was kind of hinted at in the first one, because the first one was more of a serious horror movie and the second one just had more comedy, almost like Three Stooges type of humor, but it had a lot more action, and it's pretty much one of the best horror sequels ever made. And the third one, Army of Darkness, I tend to be somewhat mixed on it. I think it's a fun action fantasy adventure film, but honestly, over the years, I've kind of learned to appreciate it as just a standalone film, because if you compare it to the other Evil Dead movies, it kind of falls apart. It just, tonally, it just went a little too far with the comedy. Even though it is one of the funniest movies of all time, I do think Army of Darkness is one of those films that I kind of have to say to myself, just, you know, this is different, and I'm okay with that. It's still a really fun movie, and it's still funny as hell. Just, you might be disappointed if you're expecting it to be a horror movie. The Evil Dead remake, also, I like that one too. I thought that one was a pretty fun film, despite, you know, not really having as much comedy as the other Evil Dead movies. It goes a little too gross out for me, even though I know the Evil Dead movies have a lot of gross stuff in them, but I think it relied a little too much on, you know, like, gross stuff to be scary, and I don't know, I just didn't think it was as well made as that first one or the second movie, but it is a good horror movie if you just view it as a standalone horror film. But compared to the first two Evil Deads, I just feel like it's not as good as those. But it is a well-made horror film that I do think over the years, I think people started to, you know, like it a little bit more, myself included. I still think you can have a good time with that film. I just wish the Deadites were a little more, I don't know, more over the top, I guess, or be a little more sillier, because they acted more like zombies in that remake. Anyways, so that's my thought on the movies. My thought on the TV show, The Ash vs. Evil Dead. Fantastic. I'm real sad it got canceled after 3 seasons, but the Ash vs. Evil Dead show was pretty damn good. I enjoyed that as well. I have no complaints for that TV show. If anything, I just wish that we got more of it, because it was so damn well made, and that was actually a love letter to Evil Dead fans after the remake kind of dividing the fans. I mean, I still enjoyed that remake, but I'll admit it kind of lost a little of that Sam Raimi-ness. Is that a term? It should be now. Anyway, so Evil Dead Rise, getting finally to the review. I thought it was a pretty solid horror film, but I'll admit, I don't think it's going to be for everybody. I thought it had a lot of really messed up, dark, family matters type of, what's the word I'm looking for? It basically goes for, like, really disturbing family dysfunction. It reminded me a lot of, like, the family from, like, Resident Evil 7 or the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It goes for that type of horror, which kind of caught me off guard. I'll admit, I haven't really seen that type of horror done like that in a long time. I was pretty uncomfortable in the theater, but it was really well made. It was scary. At least I thought it was scary. Now, sometimes the jump scares in the movie could be a little formulaic and a little telegraphed, but I thought the performances were real good. I thought, for the most part, the story was good. If I only have one complaint, it's that, ironically, I didn't really like the fan service. And that's also kind of a complaint I had with the remake. They want to, you know, make references to all the Evil Dead. Like, just because it doesn't have Ash, we got to have the chainsaw. We got to have the double barrel shotgun. We got to have everything that makes Evil Dead Evil Dead. Just because, hey, Ash used a double barrel shotgun, remember that? Or Ash used a chainsaw, remember that? Remember when Ash said, "Come get some" in Army of Darkness? Or remember when the Deadites say, "I'll swallow your soul"? There's a little bit of that. I feel like, you don't have to do that. Like, it's a little bit of, like, member berries. But other than that, it was a really dark movie. I'm serious. needed to come out here to the park to just refresh my memory, because damn, this was really intense, and I enjoyed it for the most part. It's not my favorite Evil Dead movie, not by a long shot. I still like the I still like the first two a lot more. The only thing I will say is that I think it's somewhere in the middle for me. I think I did enjoy this a little more than Army of Darkness. In terms of a horror movie, I mean, in terms of entertainment, I think Army of Darkness is a little more entertaining, but I do like it more than the Evil Dead remake, because this movie actually had a lot more of an emotional story with... I won't get into spoilers, but again, it's just a quick opinion. I do recommend it. If you're a horror fan, go out and see the new Evil Dead remake, or reboot, whatever it is. I don't know, whatever it is. I do recommend it. It is a good movie, but keep in mind, this is a warning. This movie is really emotionally exhausting. I'm serious. The movie will test your patience with how disturbing and awful the family behavior is, and it's pretty messed up. It's a really messed up movie, but hey, that's what horror's supposed to do. No one ever says horror's supposed to be comfortable. Anyways, guys, Rose the Rascal 15 saying, I do recommend Evil Dead Rise. Gonna give it a solid... What would I give it? I'm gonna give it like a solid 7.5 out of 10. Or you know what? Do I like the Evil Dead remake more than this movie? I think I like it just as much. I have to watch them both, but I think I like it just as much as the Evil Dead remake. I think the story's a little bit better in Rise, but I think the Evil Dead remake was a little more entertaining. The only downside of this one was that I felt it started off kind of slow, but it gets better as the movie goes on. And the ending does kind of, the ending was kind of anticlimactic. But anyways, check it out. It's a decent movie. In the words of Bruce Campbell, it was groovy. Alright, take care everyone. Rose the Rascal 15, out. And I'm serious. Do not go take a date to go see this movie. She might question your taste in movies, because this was pretty traumatizing.